It's 4 p.m. We're bringing you developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Paez.
And I'm Lingao. Some stories we're watching this Thursday, June 13. Expelled Congressman Ronald Tevez is now officially on house arrest in Timor-Leste. The Justice Department says Tevez will be under 24-hour security with only family members allowed to visit. Senate President Chis Escudero agrees with the statement of Defense Chief Gilbert Teodoro that Pogo operations near military bases should be stopped. But Escudero says the DND Secretary should discuss the matter with PAGCOR if he's also referring to the closure of legal Pogos. Recall that Teodoro flagged Pogos as a national security concern for their alleged ties with criminal syndicates.
And Vice President Sara Duterte says her Uniteam tandem with President Bongbong Marcos was just for the elections. Still, the VP Sara thanked those who supported and voted for them.
And joining us today, of course, Pamintuan, the editor-in-chief of the Philippine Star from there in Parañaque, and the Storycon's resident political pundit, Mr. Ronald Llamas.
Good afternoon, Ami.
Hi.
Ed, Patrick.
Good afternoon.
Bok question.
Happy Thursday.
No.
Bok question. Si Congressman Tevez, he is not a fugitive. Kasi na-arresto ulit di ba?
Nakahouse arrest.
Well, he was a fugitive until he was arrested. Now he is under
Custody. So that does not make him a fugitive if he is already under custody of law authorities. Yeah.
Hindi matapos-tapos yung fugitive, Ami. No?
Kasi now I know you are at least in some ways learned about the law.
As a matter of fact, I looked it up. There's a Supreme Court decision which emphasized the definition of fugitive from justice. One being that you were convicted and are in hiding. Number two being that you were charged with a crime and are in hiding. So, dun sa number two,
Pwede.
ang papasok. Babalikan mo natin
What's wrong? What seems to be very distasteful about the word fugitive?
Well, para kang pugante. Para kang...
You're basically hiding from the law.
Parang hindi maganda yung dating.
But I think Senator Lacson back then admitted that he was a fugitive during the time of President Gloria Arroyo when a similar warrant was out there for
Nawala yata siya for almost a year, di ba?
Oo.
Diba?
Tsaka hinahabol. There were also speculations
Active
whether
Active
he
case.
slipped out of the country. Pero ano ba talaga nangyari doon, Ronald? Baka alam mo. He slipped out though and then slipped back. No. He went out legally. I think there was footage of CCTV cameras of him. They didn't know where I think Hong Kong or something like that. But what they didn't know was that allegedly he slipped back in.
Yes.
Parang gano'n.
In any case,
fugitive siya.
whichever way you cut the cake, you're still cutting the cake.
Basta skill set ni Senator Ping Lacson yan. Dahil dati yung...
He has no problems about being called back then a fugitive.
Yes.
Pero kini-question yan, Ed, di ba? Kini-question ng abogado ni Apollo Tibuloy. Na kapag meron pa daw appeal hindi mo ba daw pwedeng tawagin fugitive kasi hindi pa naman daw tapos yung hindi pa settled yung kailangan arestuhan, di ba? Yung sinasabi niya. Kaya hindi daw fugitive yung kliyente niya.
I checked yung decision ng Pasig RTC and Davao RTC and why they issued the arrest warrant. Ang sabi ng dalawa, yes, there is a pending appeal by the Quiboloy camp with the DOJ regarding the charges.
Not with the courts.
Not with the courts.
Kaya nga.
So in the end, sabi
Kaya nga, dun sa basic na indictment niya, ang kini-question niya.
Pero ang sabi ng korte...
Kaya sabi niya, hindi pwedeng fugitive.
Pero
kasi hindi pa daw final.
Pero the final...
Diba?
It's final already It's final in the sense na... Nawala yung video. It's final already in the sense na the courts issued the arrest warrant anyway. Ang sabi ng court, we waited long enough, we have already basis, and so we're issuing arrest warrants. That's what the court said So in the end, it's the court that decided to issue the arrest warrant.
Ibig sabihin, learned ka.
Sige. Sige, fugitive siya.
Well, I'm not saying that. It's the law that says that. It's the courts that actually said it.
Ami, is it also a slow day for the Philippine Star? A slow news day? Kasi ang pinagpipestahan lang yun. Yung video
Oo
na
nga, yan
nag-viral
ang
mula
babanggitin ko
sa
sana.
Mandelor.
No, nagmi-meeting ngayon daw sila, si Speaker Romualdez, saka si Senate President Chis Escudero. Pero siyempre, hindi yun actually, I guess it's about Chacha, pero ang pinag-uusapan ngayon, unang-una muna ha, yung hindi masyadong kontrobersyal, yung away over the Senate building kasi may nagsalita ng mga yung the so-called young guns in the House na wasteful daw yun. Kaya sumagot si Coco Pimentel, ay nakamo, don't look at us, tingnan niyo muna sarili niyo. Dahil ang nagdoble daw yung yung budget naman ng House of Representatives. Kaya ayan. Pero of course, alam natin kung anong pinag-uusapan ng lahat ngayon, yung viral video, meron yatang napagkamalang waiter dun sa Malacanang,
Grabe ka naman.
I think that's the cue now for our producer to, I think, roll. I suppose, this story has gained some credence because may reaction na. May statement si Senate President Chis Escudero. But before that, let's look at the video. There.
Ayan, sige.
May ibang angulo pa yan.
Ayan, okay.
Nakiinom lang naman Ginagawa yan pag may tagay, di ba?
Oo.
Oh, hindi ba napagkamalang waiter? No. Ang dami na nating na-attenda ng mga ganyan, mga band de honor na yan. Saka mga receptions. Yung wine, inaabot yun ng waiter sa tray, di ba?
Oo. Baka kinulang.
Siyempre, pag may hawak yun, sigurado guest yun. Kung hawak ng kamay, yung champagne glass, guest yun. Mukhang hindi yata napansin.
Otherwise, nasa tray.
Ininom pa.
Tapos sinuli.
Sabi ko baka napagkamalang waiter. Pero okay, sige, may reaction na rin nga. Sabi nga niyo, may reaction na si Chis Escudero.
Oh, he was being a gentleman daw. I think that's the word.
Yes,
that he was using.
Parang hindi naman yun yung issue.
Ang mga tanong ay ininom din
Or
kaya
intense.
niya yung natira.
Ang tawag na,
Tanong doon.
non-sequitur.
Uy, legal term yan.
You're learned in Latin legal terms.
Pabayaan natin.
It does not follow,
Hindi, ang interesting. Ewan ko kung may magkakaroon ng reaction na Malacanang. Yun ang iniintay natin kasi sobrang viral yung video
Pwede naman,
I don't think it's bad for Chis at all.
pwede naman banding lang eh. Banding.
Banding.
Gawa
Ayaw
natin yan,
natin
di ba?
ng mga-
Tagay-tagay.
Parang may,
Hindi lang ako nakabarong.
parang may tumatawa banda ron.
Tingin mo nasa tayo.
Ha?
Nasa tayo. Kasi napaka in-attention yung tayo.
Oo, kaya nga
siguro
baka, di ba?
Ganun. Kasi everybody else seemed relaxed, right, at that moment.
Hindi dahil sa kilay.
Hindi dahil sa gilid.
Pero, kumamay si Senator Chis Escudero kay BBM bago kunin yung baso niya ni First Lady.
Huwag mo na kasi,
Hindi yata nakita.
Huwag mo na kasi i-deconstruct.
Hindi nakita.
Diba?
Kasi kung nasa
Kumamay
party ka,
muna
kukuha ka ba ng glass ng ibang guest? Sige nga. Kung nasa ganyang kaka-formal na party,
Tapos ang sabi ni
will you
Gabinal
grab
Francisco,
someone else's champagne glass and drink from it? Diba?
Ang teorya ni Jovi Francisco, hindi teorya, ang contribution ni Jovi Francisco is usually daw, iba yung barong ng mga waiter. Iba yung tela. So, sabi ni
wala
Jovi,
kasi dyan
baka
waiter.
pareho, naging pareho, nung etong araw na ito, pareho sila ng tela ng barong.
Hindi, yung tanong dyan, paano after niya kasi magto-toast lahat eh? Uminom ba si
Wala
Senate
na, may
President?
Yun, wala naman.
Walang video eh.
Wala naman. Although yung toast na yan, di ba, sabi nga nila, it's purely ceremonial. So you don't even have to take a sip or
Yes.
gulp. You
Yeah.
just have to raise your glass. So may baso pa rin naman sa matataas. There's still a wine glass that he can still raise.
Sayang naman.
Yan.
Sayang naman yung champagne.
All in the spirit of fun, di ba? Amin. Siyempre, di ba? Para hindi masyado seryoso yung usapan sa politika. And otherwise, the issue on the new Senate building, that's medyo concerning, dahil malaki yung cost.
Yes.
And it would seem that, based on the initial report from the Senate President, is that the word they use was deviations from the project. We take that as deviations from the original design, or deviations in this case might mean na medyo nadagdagan na maraming request siguro yung mga kung sino-sino man, possibly from the senators. And also there were some issues on workmanship quality. So yun.
Pero ang balita
tumaas yung cost, and yet there were issues on workmanship quality.
Pero ang balita ko, in spite of all the brouhaha, tuloy pa rin.
It's hard. What do you do? Do you just stop it? Ganon?
Tuloy at tatapusin.
Di ba? Parang
FYI na lang.
at this point, you need to finish it.
Yeah.
Dapat lang, after so many decades, for the first time, the Senate will have its own building. It never had one. So, ang tanong na lang dito is if they can still manage the cost. Ganon.
Tsaka pwede yung bayad sa mga trabahador dyan
Hindi, kaya nga labanan ngayon. Di ba, mas mataas yung budget nyo kaya sa budget namin. Ganun Sino mas mataas?
Yan na nga,
Congress ba o House?
Ngayon,
Senate.
nalalaman natin tuloy ngayon na halos nagdoble yung budget daw ng House of Representatives kasi syempre nag-react yung mga senador. Sabi ni Coco Pimentel, kayo nga from 16 biglang naging 28 billion yung funding niya, kaya yan. Nalaman tuloy natin ngayon yan.
Nagsisilipan na sila ngayon, nagsisilipan. Ang problema kasi sa mga nagsisilipan, kung yung sumisilip, meron ding muta.
Yeah. But in this case, Ronald, at least ako dating Senate reporter, 24 sila na senador. Of course, samahan na natin, may mga staff yan and other legislative offices. Medyo malaki itong building nito.
Baka may
Medyo malaki itong building nito.
Baka may gym sa 2 floors.
You're looking at 8 to 10 stories na 3 buildings. So, mga kulang-kulang, almost 30.
And they're coming from...
4 buildings. Ang sabi nga ang original daw is for 64 senators kung magkakaroon ng regional representation. Hindi ba that's a long stretch? Kailangan mo i-amend yung constitution to have 64 regional senators.
So, ano yan?
Pinaghahandaan na nila.
They're in favor of cha-cha. Parang lumalabas sa gano'n.
Yun na nga. Akala ko ba ayaw nila ng cha-cha?
Yun,
Na for now, bumabara sa Senate.
Pero,
Doon yung bara.
yun ang dahilan kung bakit 4 na building yan na napakalaki.
Hindi, pero may reflection rooms yan. Paano pag na-stress yung mga senador, tapos...
Magre-reflect sila, gano'n?
Magre-reflect sila doon sa ilang mga rooms doon.
64 senators.
Hindi, yung main section nasa gitna Yung session hall nasa gitna. Meron siyang parang podium, di ba? It sits on a podium. Yung pinakagitna niya, doon yung main session hall. So, puro opisina lang talaga yung building na yan. Malaki pa siya sa 5-star hotel,
Medyo, These are how many wings? I suppose these are
Yes.
4 wings?
Four.
Kasi by the design,
4 siya, 4.
Parang kulang-kulang mahigit isang floor kada senador. Almost 2 floors.
Yun na nga
Right.
Pero hindi kasi siya bago. Matagal na yung lumabas sa media. Ngayon lang nagkaroon ng issue dahil nga parang lumaki
Nag-bloat yung
ng
budget.
almost 3 times yung budget. Diba?
Yes.
Normally, what would cause some increases in construction costs, finishings. So baka may jacuzzi yan, bawat floor, or something like that. Diba?
Lagyan mo lang ng monoblock yung mga
Finishings yan. Furnishings.
Pero yung design niyan, yung dami ng rooms, dati nang naaprubahan yan. Tsaka dati na
From the previous Senate. From the previous
from the
Senate.
previous
Yes.
Senate.
At an old cost.
May
About
contest
9
pa
billion.
dyan sa design yan Nag-contest pa sila for the design. Bago in-award ng DPWH yung kontrata to Hillmark Construction, if you remember, Hillmark, nasabit siya dun sa controversy over the overpriced
Green parking
Makati
building.
parking lot. Yan, isa pa rin yung ginagawang issue ngayon.
The green parking
Pero
lot
in-explain
in
nila yung
Makati.
pagano, di ba? In-explain ni Ping Lacson bakit nagdagdagan ng ganyan. Apart from the interiors, yun daw mga security features, nag-appreciate daw yung land valuation. Pakiano nga yun, Ronald? Ganun ba yun? Kapag do you factor that in? Nag-appreciate daw yung land
But the
valuation,
presumption-
napakalaki daw ng tinaas.
The
Yan sa
presumption,
BGC.
the presumption is you acquired the lot before
Before.
it increased
Yes.
valuation.
Oo nga, hindi ba
nasaya
yun
na yan.
yung pagkaalam ko?
Apektado na Jem, mga kapitbahay, kamukha nila Ed. Yan siguro. Which is good for Ed.
Tataas yung value.
Not really sure about
Pero
that.
that property was probably already settled and bought.
Yun
Yes.
yun yung naunang binili.
Right. Yun ang
Oh,
unang
hindi
bibili
ba
mo,
yun ang
eh.
unang-una mong bibilhin bago ka mag-construct dyan?
So that won't cut it sa salita nga ni Ed.
Oh.
That won't cut it. Ganun.
I also wonder if they'll be spending money to expand the road network in the area kasi 3-lane road lang yun.
Right,
And
right,
it's heavily congested even on regular days without the Senate there.
Right.
Yung stoplight doon sa bukana ng Gate 3 ng Fort Bonifacio, daming traffic doon eh. Tsaka may talipa pa
Pero
doon.
baka may 4 na helipad dyan. Dahil 4 na wings yan eh. So 4 na building. So pwedeng may helipad bawat building.
Pwede. Oo.
Pwede. Kayo naman si
Lalagyan ng
President
courtesy plate
Marcos ang
yung
maglalanding
helicopter.
doon.
Yun, pwede.
Kapag bumibisita sa Senate.
Kaya medyo nainggit ang House of Representatives.
Oo.
It's always so
Nainggit
grand.
nainggit yung house. Lalo na yung batasan, nasa earthquake fault.
Medyo, Ronald, tatamaan dito ang yung kalalabas lang na Senate leadership.
Oo, mukhang yan ngayon yung pinag-uusapan sa Senado aside sa Pogos.
And the previous chairperson of the Accounts Committee was Senator Nancy Binay.
Kaya siya yung isa sa nag-defend.
Siya yung isa nag-defend.
Siya yung nagde-defend, saka
and
sabi
to
niya,
your point a
tataas
while
daw
ago, the
lalo ang
parking lot in
cost kapag ganyang
Makati is
sinuspinde.
Hilmar.
So
Hilmar.
the contractor who built that expensive parking lot in
It's the
Makati
same.
is the same contractor in this case.
Yeah.
And that was Makati, and this
Kaya ang
is
warning nga ni Senator Binay, lalo daw tataas nga ang cost kapag ganyang sinuspinde. What do you think of that, Ronald?
Well,
Di ba ano na naman yan?
Kung madedelay talaga,
Nakakontrata na yan eh.
yes, pero hindi factor din yung delay dyan eh. Yung delay na hindi dahil doon sa contractor. Yung delay na dahil sa halimbawa sa Senate, pwedeng hindi yan kasama
Yes.
sa cost. So pwedeng tumaas. No? Kung madedelay siya, not because of the contractor, but because of other extraneous factors like the Senate. Pwedeng
Magmamahal.
investigahan pa ng
Political
Senado yan.
decisions.
Pero ang alam ko, Ami, tuloy na yan.
tuloy yan, but they don't have to spend the cost as it is estimated
Hindi,
now.
pero-
What they need to manage is yung furnishings yan.
Yes,
Diba?
pero...
Yung details, yung finishings.
Yeah.
Siguro, pag imbes na Italian marble yung sahig, gawin lawanit na lang o ano, raw concrete na lang, for example. But there are many ways to manage pa rin the cost.
Pero yung 24 billion ba is the new projected cost or is it already the actual cost as of now?
Mukhang projected.
Projected,
para,
right?
Projected.
para matapos.
Para matapos.
Pero usually kasi yan, depende sa kontrata eh, yung fine details ng kontrata.
right.
Baka kasi legal yung pag-increase eh.
Right.
Ibig sabihin,
Right.
naka-factor in sa kontrata yon. No?
Right.
Hindi naman natin nakita yung kontrata eh. No?
So, kasama yung inflationary
Yes.
adjustments.
And other factors.
Well, at
Kung
least
wala
now the
tayong hawak,
senators
hindi natin
know-
alam eh.
At least the senators now know na hindi sila exempted sa inflation. Parang gano'n.
Pero baka hindi ganun kataas naman yung inflation. Diba? Dahil mas mataas talaga food inflation. Yung construction materials, yes, may taas yun. Pero baka hindi naman ganun ka 100%
hindi masyado.
no, na increase. Kaya there may be other factors involved. Pero ayun nga, we're in the dark eh. Hindi natin hawak yung fine details ng kontrata. Ano ba yung pinagtatalunan, no? In terms of costing. Ang ginagawa lang natin ngayon is guess. Educated guess eh.
Well, it's normal for construction projects to have overruns in cost, I
Yes.
think, given yan. Pero medyo malaki yung overrun na ito.
At 160%?
Yes.
Medyo malaki yan. Lalo na kung yung
Siguro
contractor
pwedeng
medyo may record.
Kasi hindi maganda dating sa public. Siguro explain nila kung bakit in the first place nakaisip sila. Kasi I remember yung original na rason nila to save daw on the rental. Ang laki-laki daw ng binabayad nila sa GSIS. So kumpara yon dyan sa gastos ngayon, 28 billion, kung magkano yung masasave. Siguro if they want to sell it to the public kasi nagkakaroon ng negative reaction sa mga tao eh. Kailangan explain nila yan, di ba?
Right. Well, Well, what makes this quite controversial is that it was the Senate President himself who raised this issue.
Yes.
Who brought this out in the public. It's not some media intrepid investigator or journalist who blew the top on this cause, no? Senate President mismo.
Baka pinoprotektahan din niya yung sarili niya. Dahil parang ganyang kalaki yung nilobo, pwede na sabihin, teka, kinwestiyon ko yan. Teka,
Hindi ako yan.
Hindi ako yan. No? Pwede niya sabihin yun later. Kahit tuloy na talaga yung pagtapos ng building na yan.
Kasi wala rin naman talagang choice.
Oo. Pero at the same time, for the record, ay naglabas siya ng concern at saka puna. No? Hindi doon sa champagne, doon sa building.
Pero hindi ba magkaiba rin yung yung gastos ng Senado dahil sa pagbayad niya sa renta sa GSIS versus yung pagbili niya ng pagbili at pagpapagawa ng bagong building? Kasi yung una, it's actually government from one pocket to the other pocket.
Yes.
Still within the same of course different branches, di ba? Pero in the end gobyerno sa gobyerno. Pero yung pangalawa,
Tsaka sa balance sheet, no?
Doon sa Hillmark.
Iba yun.
Contractor talaga.
Tsaka sa balance sheet kasi lalabas, okay, nakatipid kayo. Pero lugi naman yung GSIS na parehong gobyerno. So, ano ba yung balance sheet talaga? Kung isasabay mo yung dalawa. Paano wala nang gagamit yung GSIS No?
Yes, yun na nga ang tanong pa doon. Anong gagawin nyo sa GSIS? Ang laki ng building na yun,
Unless gagamitin
It's a very large building.
Or ano.
And it's a prime property. Katabihan nung nasa cultural center complex yun Malapit sa MOA.
I doubt, Ami, kung meron kang naririnig na plano doon sa GSIS building, wala naman lumalabas di ba? Dahil magiging white elephant na tulog, di ba? Walang gumagamit.
Yes.
So in a way, malulugi din yung gobyerno. Dahil yung isang building nila ay walang revenues, walang kita, walang renta.
That's another issue nga Kaya sabi ko, baka gawin na lang 5-star hotel yun at maiiwan sila. Sabi ni Cheese, malayo daw maka-move in sila even by 2025 or 2026. Sinabi na niya yun O, paano yan? Baka 2026, pag mga in a couple of months, umpisa na yung sobra ng bangayan yan sa politika, magte-2028 na. It's going to be a political issue.
Tsaka baka mas lumaki pa.
Pati yung budget mismo lalaki.
Okay.
Kaya hindi
Bok, cambio muna tayo kasi we have somebody on the line. It's our guest for today. We have PAGCOR Chairman and CEO Tengco joining us this afternoon on Storycon to talk about a lot of issues, including, of course, yung Pogo.
Yes.
Sir, magandang hapon and thank you for joining us.
Ay, magandang hapon sa inyo. Ed, Ami, Patrick at Ronald, magandang hapon sa inyo.
Magandang hapon, Chairman.
At si Ami si Ami ng Philippine Star from nakabase sa Parañaque. Also joins us today. Sir, una-una, reaction siguro dun sa there been calls to have Pogos scrapped altogether. I understand that PAGCOR also has some concerns over that proposal. Can you elaborate, sir?
Well, actually, I just want to know.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, the line's not here. But I just want to first of all, maraming salamat sa pagkakataon na pinagkaloob niyo sa akin na makasagot at makapagpaliwanag, no? But una lang, gusto ko lang sabihin na hindi na ako'y susunod sa mga magiging desisyon ng Pangulo o ng Kongreso tungkol dito sa mga proposal na to. Pero ang gusto ko lang liwanagin na itong mga nahuhuli lately na mga overseas gaming operators ay hindi mga lisensyado ng PAGCOR ito. Sila ay mga walang lisensya na nag-ooperate ng illegal. Kaya sila hinuhuli ay they are not involved in any gaming activity. Kung hindi sila they are basically criminal syndicate na involved sa mga criminal activities tulad ng mga scamming operations. Nandyan ang scamming ng credit card, nandyan ang scamming ng love match scam, nandiyan ang crypto investment scam at marami pang ibang uri ng mga scam operation.
Chairman?
So, sinasabi ko lang po, kung may pagpatuloy, sana po, bigyan naman natin ng pagkakataon yung 46 na license fees natin ngayon, dahil sila po yung nag-ahanap buhay ng maayos at matino. And the government is deriving close to about 20 to 22 billion pesos in terms of license fees po and payments to the BIR.
Okay. Chairman, sabi niyo hindi lisensyado itong mga ni-raid na Pogo, no?
Yes, sir.
So, paano po nangyayari na mayroong mga Pogo na nakakalusot? Na napapasukan
Ganito
ito
po yun,
ng
ano?
mga... I guess my question, Chairman, is who is ultimately responsible for the entry
ganito
of
po yun,
illegal
ano,
Pogos?
Tsaka dagdag, Chairman,
Yes,
sa tanong ni Patrick, gaano karami ba yung legal kumpara sa illegal? Parang yung lumalabas
Okay,
kasi several hundreds yung illegal,
300
tapos 46 yung legal. Parang ang laki ng discrepancy nung legal at saka illegal. At saka hindi nyo ba na-check dahil it takes some time bago matayo yung mga tinatawag na illegal na mga Pogo. Na parang sabi nga nung isang PAOK spokesperson, parang global city. No? Pag nandun ka, ganun kalaki. Ibig sabihin, it took several years para matayo ito, magpasok ng mga pera, kumuha ng mga magtatao rito. Hindi ba yan na monitor ng PAGCOR? Yung ganyang karami?
Maganda pong katanungan. Sagutin ko lang po. When I assumed office in August of 2022, meron pong close to 300 licensees ang PAGCOR. And after a few months, matapos pong pag-aralan namin yung sitwasyon, pinag-aralan namin itong mga licensees, ang lumalabas po ay marami sa kanila ay hindi na po involved sa gaming activities. They were involved in criminal activities. Kaya po, in September in 2023, minarapat ko pong i-declare na lang na on provisionary status ang lahat ng licenses at re-review po namin ang bawat isa sa kanila. So, ang nangyari po, karamihan sa kanila hindi na nag-re-apply, at yun naman pong marami din ang nag-re-apply, hindi na po namin pinagkalooban ng lisensya. So, out of the close to 300, 46 lang po yung natirang binigyan namin ng lisensya. And as of today, of the 46, 3 po ay currently suspended and 43 po ang active and in operation. So, ang nangyari po, of the 300, kung ating susumahing simple, meron pong himigit kumulang sa 250 po ang illegal na yon ay nasa buong Pilipinas at siyang nag-ooperate ng kanya-kanyang mga illegal criminal activity.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, so kanino pong responsibility to make sure na itong mga Pogo na hindi na ni-renew yung lisensya would actually wrap up their operations and leave the country? Does this responsibility fall on PAGCOR?
I want to make this clear. PAGCOR does not have any police powers, no? So we have been coordinating with our police authorities and other departments of the government through a task force. Kami po ngayon ay nagpapalitan ng mga informasyon nang sa ganon, ito pong mga illegal operators na ito ay masugpon at mahuli na.
Okay.
Chairman,
Mr. Tengco, ang mga critics ang sabi nila,
Go ahead.
the Pogos have become too much trouble. They're more trouble than they're worth daw, kaya gusto nila, sobrang consumption lang daw yan, isara na lang. At the government daw is not collecting. Even the former finance secretary, si Ben Jokno, sabi niya, hindi naman ako kolekta yung tamang taxes. Ano po yung masasabi niyo doon? In fact, si Senator Win Gatchalian, sabi niya, he wants a complete ban even on internet gaming, which you have started. I think you launched it last year. Basta ayaw daw niya kasi napakahirap daw i-regulate nga. What do you think of those proposals?
Okay, with regard to the question of whether we are able to collect, as of date po, out of the 46 licenses that we had given licenses to, we were able to collect by the end of 2023 5.3 billion pesos. During the past administration, close to 300 licensees, ang nakolekta po nila ay over 7 billion pesos, close to about 7.8 billion if I'm not mistaken. So very clear, when it comes to efficiency, we are collecting more compared to the last administration of PAGCOR. Aside from that, BIR collects 2.5 times than what we collect. So in total, we are in 2023, we were able to collect close to about 20 billion pesos.
Okay.
So, ang inaano ko po dyan, ang malaking consumption talaga ay yung mga illegal na wala pong lisensya who continue to operate non-gaming activities.
Okay, so what happens next, Mr. Chairman? I guess it will have to come from PAGCOR, the list of POGO operations that need to wrap up and leave the country. Hindi po ba ganun ang dapat maging sistema? Or,
Yes, salamat po. We have furnished all the government. In fact, we do this on a monthly basis. We furnish them with the names of the corporations that we have closed and those who are actively operating legally. So, it is up to the task force now. Yan nga po ang ginagawa ngayon. Kaya po nahuli natin yung nasa Banban at nahuli po natin yung nasa Cora.
Okay.
Dahil sama-sama po natin nagpapalitan kami ng impormasyon para nga po masugpo itong illegal na ito.
Okay.
Pero,
Wala po talaga sa mga legal licenses ang nag-ooperate ng criminal activities.
Opo. Chair, just to be clear lang po, so, bale, what you're saying is itong 300 na illegal POGOs are actually old POGOs na dating legal na hindi na ni-renew at nirevoke ang license.
Ang na-renew po ay less than 50. So
Yes, sir.
about
In 46.
250 are deemed illegal.
Yes, sir. So what I'm saying, sir, basically is this government actually has a list of where these POGOs are, these illegal POGOs are, these 250, because these are not mobile POGOs naman. These are huge infrastructure
hindi sila invisible.
fixed in certain places for so many years. Actually, we don't even need to raid them. We just have to close them kasi we know where they are. They're on record.
And Chairman, in relation to sa tanong ni Ed Lingao, ay yung nire-raise kasi ng mga bumabanat sa Pogo ay hindi lamang usapin ng registered ba sila o hindi. Mukhang mas fundamental yung nire-raise nila. Yung isa ay issue ng national security, yung isa ay from the very start, yung mga Pogo as online gaming na pinagbawal dun sa original na bansa at dito pinayagan is tainted with criminal elements. So hindi siya usapin lamang ng registered ba o hindi. Usapin siya ng national security at usapin siya na pinagbawal ito sa mainland China kaya nga pumunta rito Ibig sabihin, may element talaga siya of being tainted, for lack of a better term, tainted by crime. So hindi siya usapin lamang ng registration.
Opo. Pero gusto ko pong sabihin naman, yung licenses po natin ngayon ay wala namang illegal activity na ginagawa. Because they are servicing not the country where they came from, but other markets. So we are not referred, ang sinasabi ko po, Wala po namang illegal na ginagawa yung actual licensee. Meron po kasing, hindi naman po lahat yan doon sa tinutukoy niyang bansa eh. Meron pong mga licensees tayong nanggagaling ng Malaysia, nanggagaling sa Singapore, nanggagaling po sa Europe. Meron pa po tayong mga special BPO operators na ang sineservisan po ay mga countries, mga gaming companies sa Europe and South America.
Pero
So
di ba,
why will we penalize these people who are doing business legally
Okay.
and following all the regulations of PAGCOR?
Okay, right. Mr. Chairman, do you know
Yes, sir.
of another Pogo complex of the scale, let's say, of the one in Bamban or Porac that also needs to be shut down?
Sa paniwala po namin, yan po ang dalawang napakalaki.
Okay, kasi...
At sinubaybayan po namin yan and alam niyo po, may case build-up nga.
Okay.
Pagkatapos po ng case build-up, kumuha pa po ng mga search warrant. So it really took a while.
Okay. I don't know if I get your math correct, if this math is correct. There were 300 before you came in. Okay. 46 were renewed.
Before I came in, there were 298.
Okay. 298. 46 have been renewed. May sinasabi kayo na 43 ang active out of the 46. So medyo marami-rami
Yes, sir.
pa rin ho yung mga hindi na-renew. And are they still around in the Philippines?
ano ang sabi ni Chairman? Okay na itong
Okay.
dalawa eh. Ito
Oo.
na lang. So, ano yung nangyari doon sa several hundreds?
Oo. Hindi ko palang ma-subtract to.
Naniniwala po ako, tulad ng nakikita natin, lumalabas po, they're around the Philippines.
Pero,
No, Mr. Tengco, ano yung violation nila? Bakit hindi na-renew yung application? Bakit hindi sila nakapag-re-register? Or they just did
Unang-una
not
po.
re-register? O ni-reject nyo? Kung
unang-una.
ni-reject nyo, ano po yung dahilan?
Unang-una po, number one, marami na po sa kanilang hindi na nag-apply muli. Dahil paniwala po siguro nila, hindi na sila makakalusot sa probity checks. First time po implement tayo ng third-party probity checks, no? Pangalawa po, yun naman pong aming mga reject yung application. They cannot show or prove to us who their beneficial owners are. So we rejected their reapplication, ma'am.
Okay.
Very important po kasi sa amin sa panahon sa administrative impact. Malaman po ang really behind these companies.
Chairman, nabanggit nyo kanina na
Yes.
yung mga ilang legal na nag-register sa PAGCOR ay hindi lang sa mainland China yung kanilang business o yung kanilang proyekto. Pero gano'ng karami ba? Paano alam ko, karamihan ng yung bulto ng siniservisyohan ng mga Pogo ay sa mainland China. So kung merong mga Malaysian or other countries, anong porsyento nun? Dahil ang nature kasi ng Pogo, mainland China yung kita eh.
Sa registration po namin ngayon at sa mga addresses, lumalabas po halos 50% po hindi sa mainland.
Chairman, dun sa, Chairman, kasi I did the math eh. So 298 dati, minus 46, 252, I think. 252.
About
Bali
250, more or less. About 250 more or less.
Of the 252 po, ito po, I'll go back. I think it's a question asked earlier, pero hindi klaro yung sagot. Yung 252 po, are these mostly already closed or we're still checking? Kasi that was 2 years ago pa ho, yung pagre-reject.
Actually, the offices where they used to operate, ay wala na po sila lahat doon.
Okay.
So, they
Mr.
have moved
Tengco,
to other
yung isa
locations.
pang pinagtutunguhan ng congressional investigation, ang balak daw ng mga lawmakers ay paghiwalayin yung functions ng PAGCOR as both operator and regulator. What do you think of that proposal?
I totally agree with that. In fact, I have been espousing and supporting that. Ang tinutukoy po dyan, PAGCOR is wearing two hats at the moment. No?
Yes.
We are a regulator issuing licenses to casinos and gaming companies. And at the same time, the other half, we are operating or in joint venture in operations with operating casinos all over the Philippines. Yung pong Casino Filipino brand.
Yes.
So in the amendment that we are proposing, we want PAGCOR to be purely a regulatory company. And then we will
Okay.
bid out licenses of the current casinos that we operate. Yun po ang proposal ko kung makapapasa po yun sa Kongreso.
Okay. Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
we were looking at videos of the Porac Pampang and the Porac and the Bamban Pogo facilities. Now that
Yes, sir.
those operations have been closed, what happens to the facilities? Who owns them now?
They are forfeited po in favor. They will be forfeited in favor of the government po.
Okay, and the forfeiture will be implemented by PAGCOR. Is that how it works?
No, it will be implemented by the national government to the Department of Justice.
Mr.
Meron
Tengco,
na
hindi pa rin natin
example,
alam who's the
aside,
beneficial
if I may
owner of
justify-
the Pogo in
If I may
Bamban.
just finish, no, ma'am, sandali lang po. Meron na pong dalawang properties na mas maliit kaming nahuli in Pasay City. Yun po under forfeiture proceedings na po ngayon yun. At ginagamit na po yung mga buildings ng Bureau of
Okay.
Immigration, ginagamit po ng Department of Health, at saka ginagamit po ng ibang ahensya na ng gobyerno, tulad ng PAO.
Okay, so the same procedure will apply in these two Pogo facilities or complexes in Pampanga.
Definitely, both which are very huge, no? And very, ang extent po is Porac, 46 billion. Doon po sa Banban, it's almost 8 hectares din yung property.
Sir, simple
So
question,
may
sir.
idea na po tayo kung sino yung beneficial owners? Kasi medyo natatagalan
I do
yata
not
kung
want-
malaman kung sino yung may-ari.
Ma'am, I do not want to preempt the investigation that's ongoing.
Okay.
Sir, simple question lang, sir. Kasi itong Bamban sa itong Porac, nga, sabi nga ninyo, these are unlicensed. So, walang permit yung mga to. I suppose that goes way back dun sa August 2022 nung kayo po umupo at nag-weed out po kayo ng mga pogos na hindi dapat. Pero sir, why did it take a year and a half, almost 2 years before a huge operation like in Porac, before they were shut down? Since we know where they were to begin with, and then since we know that they are illegal.
No, as I said, sir, we did not, Porac did not have a license from day one. So we did not know they existed.
Hindi siya kasama dun sa mga nireject.
Hindi po. Yung Lucky South na may previous license was not located in the same complex where that was raided recently.
Okay.
That has to be clarified, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. What about the one in Bamban? The one in Bamban, ganun din po.
The one in Bamban is a close to 8-hectare property. Yung original license po was in the left side portion of the property, and then ito pong illegal operations was in the far right side of the property, and it was fenced very high, and then it is in an enclosed gated community po. Hindi po mapapasok na inuman because it was a private property.
So, Chairman, ang sinasabi nyo, yung large part nung hub na yon ay legal? Isang small part lang yung illegal?
Hindi po. Yung sa Banban po, out of the 8 hectares, meron po sila on the left side na isang building. Napakalayo po kung saan yung Renade sa Banban. At doon po, nakalagay ang mga illegal sa bigger side of the property on the right side. Yung Porac po, kahit never po may license yung location kung saan Renade po ng PAOK at ng law enforcement people natin.
Sir, I don't know if this falls within your jurisdiction, pero how could such a huge operation with so many foreigners take place in Porac out of the blue? In other words, parang kasi I understand, sir, pag dating legal, naging illegal at hindi lang naisara o nagpatuloy lang. Pero ito, kumbaga, from the very start, walang lisensya.
Kumbaga, Chairman, it cannot simply fall in the cracks dahil sobrang laki ng crack para sa ganyang kalaking operasyon.
I totally agree with you. That's why I think they're also currently investigating the local government unit.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these things kasi fall on the local government, LGU eh.
Maski po siguro yung barangay official should have known that there was such a big
Sir, 10
complex
hektare
there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Chairman,
But ang diniliwanag ko lang po sa inyong apat, sir, at ma'am, wala pong lisensya at hindi po na lisensya yung complex na yun sa Porac.
okay. Chairman, may I ask, what about the Pogo complex in Cavite, in the
Yes,
former Coblanja or Cove Island?
Island Cove.
Okay.
Opo.
Does that have a license?
It remains to be a legal licensee. It is the only hub that is existing right now that is licensed by PAGCOR.
Okay. Would that count as the biggest operation or biggest facility?
There. We have an office inside. The other government agencies have offices also inside the compound.
Okay.
During the takedown in the last quarter of 2023, they were also they had reduced their operations today by easily 40 to 50%.
But is that Pogo Hub basically catering to the mainland?
The one in
Cavite?
Island Cove?
Meron po silang kliyente outside the mainland. That is confirmed.
Yes, pero anong
Chairman,
percentage yung basically mainland?
I would say halos hati nga po. Halos hati po.
Chairman, sa nakikita nyo ngayon, all this resistance to Pogos, pati from our officials, kung hindi siya mababan, what can you do to overcome all these negative reactions to Pogos? Ano kaya ang pwedeng gawin para mabawasan sa itong mga ganitong klaseng problema? Do you have any proposals?
Ma'am, ang akin talaga if you regulate them properly and they are monitored and they comply, I don't see any problem. Ma'am, alam niyo, ang magiging problema nito, it is one thing that I want to ask even the forum. Ma'am, pagka in-outlaw natin lahat yan, tuloy din ang illegal operations. Hindi din po tayo makakakolekta kahit piso. Sayang din po yun. Pero kung they are properly monitored and regulated, meron pong kami regular visitations, halos po 3-4 times a week na random. Palagay ko po, tinupo yung industry na yan. Nakita na po namin dito sa 46. Hindi po kinailangan ng ma-rate sila. 3 po, ko yung suspended na natahimik.
Pero Chairman, kung banned sila, hindi ba mas madali to go after them? Kasi kung lahat banned na, wala nang, kahit yung mga local government, they cannot operate anymore. Hindi na sila pwedeng mag-excuse na, hindi naman banned, kaya nagbibigay kami ng lisensya.
Well, that is an alternative. Kaya ang sinasabi ko po talaga, ang hinihiling lang natin masusing pag-aaral ang dapat natin gawin. And then, nasa sa Congress na po yun, dahil batas po yan
Okay.
Okay. Ikaw po.
Okay. Chairman and CEO of PAGCOR, Mr. Alejandro Tengco, maraming salamat po sa oras po.
Salamat, Chairman.
Salamat din
Thank you,
po
sir.
sa
Thank you, Chairman.
pinagkalod niyo sa akin. Salamat po sa inyo. Salamat.
Thank you.
Bottom line, it's really LGUs. Local government code eh. Kasi we're presuming that an agency, a regulatory agency like PAGCOR, for example, I mean, in this case, has the arms and legs to monitor all of these operations.
Yes,
Pero,
dahil as a regulator, may kaunti kang minimum oversight powers.
meron.
Diba?
Yeah,
Hindi-
but you
hindi-
need really, to Ed's point, that paano sumulpot itong napakalaking complex na ito dyan sa Bamban nang hindi nakikita ng let's say, ng regulator. Apparently, hindi nakikita. Pero the local government should, pag may permit yan, may building permit yan, may business permit yan sa LGU, tatayo yan.
Well, definitely.
Oo.
Tsaka may foreigners. I mean,
Oo.
kung Pilipino lang kasi, maintindihan mo makalusot eh.
Kaya-
Pero,
Tatayo yan.
Kaya nga,
And a municipality like Bamban, for them, just to be fair to them, pag nakita, negosyo yan eh. Negosyo yan for revenue yan at negosyo yan para sa mga simpleng munisipalidad kamukha ng Bamban. So they wouldn't think about the national issues in this case. They'll just think na, let's forget for a while na yung mayor nila has complicated ties with this operation.
Pero at the minimum kasi, dapat alam ng LGU yung magiging problema para sa kanila.
Exactly.
By giving this
Exactly.
hubs a permit. Ibig
Exactly.
sabihin, hindi naman ganun
But LGUs, Ronald, don't have that maybe long or strategic view of things like that.
Matatanggal sila dyan, ha? Paano? Ghost employees lang, matatanggal ka na.
Pero to be fair, you're talking about national security matters, geopolitics.
Exactly.
Hindi alam na mayor yan.
Yes.
Let's be let's be real
Yes,
about that.
pero dapat alam nila na medyo liable sila kung basta-basta nila
Well,
susulpot dyan.
now they know. Now the governor of Bohol knows
Not even-
na hindi mo pwede gawa ng resort yung isa sa mga
Hindi,
chocolate
pero
hills. Now the Bambam mayor or the Porok mayor
Ang
knows.
problema, yung initial response ng mga governors, wala kaming alam dyan. Yun ang una nila sinabi.
My point, Ronald, is may structural defect maybe na kailangan tingnan, which is related to some extent dun sa local government code.
Yeah, at saka,
Which many Filipinos don't understand na medyo mabigat yung local government code.
Tsaka ang
na
laki ng
binibigyan
problema ng
kapangyarihan.
gobyerno, hindi lang ng LGU. Kung susulpot yung ganyang kalalaki at napakaraming hubs composed of foreigners, nang wala man lang nag-report somewhere, di ba? Halimbawa, sa PAGCOR, wala man lang nag-report na yun ay nangyayari. Ang laki ng problema lang, hindi lang ng PAGCOR.
Why would they report?
Yeah. Dahil it's about gambling, it's about gaming, it's about
No, but Ronald, di ba?
Kaya nga,
Ang
Ronald,
purview lang
hindi
ng
nga
mayor
kasi siya
dyan.
banned eh.
Ang thinking lang ng mayor dyan
There's
is,
no ban eh.
trabaho yan para sa mga constituents ko, at saka, may revenue yan.
Construction,
may
business.
construction business. Kasi yun lang naman let's admit it, yung mayors yun lang nakikita niya eh. Especially for a town na walang mga industriya, na pinagkakakita mo, let's say, agricultural lang. So, a big business like this is very good news for the mayor.
Yes.
Yun lang.
Yeah.
Pero makikita niya na maraming foreigners. Di ba? Makikita niya
Eh,
na...
hindi naman masama, Ronald, yung foreigner, di ba?
Hindi.
Tingin nila dyan parang export processing zone eh.
Oh, pero hindi
I
siya...
guess, Ronald,
Saka alam nila, hindi naman nga
export
kasi banned
processing
ng
zone ng
gobyerno.
Bamban, no? Hindi
Siguro,
export
Ay,
Exactly.
meron kaming
So,
construction, merong
big
negosyo.
development ito.
Oo.
Progress tong isang malaking complex na yan, progress yan.
Hindi, kaya nga sinasabi ko kanina, we are not an anarchy. At a certain
Exactly.
point, kailangan may coordination yan.
Exactly.
Diba?
But Ronald, to my point is, medyo ang structural defect dito is yung napakalaking
Nawala.
kapangyarihan na binibigay ng local government code sa mga mayor.
Tingin ko hindi ganun kasimple. Paano may limits yung kwan eh? Kaya nga gusto nila mag-federate eh. Dahil may limits yung local government code eh.
Well, foreign policy,
Oh.
yes, ano pa ba? National defense, ano pa ba? Pero yung mga bagay na ganito, you're gonna see a complex that big rise up.
Pero very
kasi-
basic eh. Sinasabi ng PAGCOR, hindi nagbabayad ng taxes eh.
Oo, tama.
So very
tama.
basic yun.
I know, and what they did was to cut down the number of licenses from 300 to 46. I think ang naging pagkukulang na lang nila is enforcement.
Parang
To make sure that those other 200, ilan ba yung nabilang niyan?
252.
252 really wrap up their operations.
Parang malaking pagkukulang yon. Parang lang.
Yeah, but at the same time, to my point is, walang means yung PAGCOR kasi as a Manila-based regulatory agency, they don't have the arms and legs to really enforce this Ngayon lang, Presidential Anti-Organized
Alam
Crime
mo-
Commission
alam mo, sa-
na kulang rin ang tao.
Being in government,
Oo.
these are not isolated islands. May coordination yan dapat. May coordination yan sa PNP, may coordination yan sa Bureau of Immigration. Hindi, yung PAGCOR, hindi standalone yan. No? Walang ganun eh. Pag ikaw ay nasa gobyerno, alam mo, yung mga yan, may mga clusters yan eh.
No,
Oo.
my point is, paano nagkaroon ng ganyang facility sa Bamban? Yan.
Kaya nga,
Pag nagkakaproblema, then you see coordination. And I think that's what we're seeing. That's why they're cracking down on these POGO facilities. But, eto kasi malaking talinghaga kay Ed, paano sumulpot yan na hindi nalalaman ng national government?
Yan yung sa PORAC. Pero what boggles my mind is yung 251 other illegals, parang all this time we have an idea where they are, more or less.
Pero ang sabi ni Chairman kasi, hanggang dyan na lang eh. Yung kanilang iimbestigahan. Paano yung more than 200 pa? No? Anong nangyayari doon? At alam ba nila kung ano nangyayari doon? Di ba tinanong natin siya kanina, tinanong mo na, meron pa bang iba? Ang pagkakasabi niya, baka hanggang dyan na lang. Why? Anong nangyayari doon sa
obviously, that they're trying to wrap things up. Ngayon,
Dito sa dalawa.
Kaya na-create yung Presidential Anti-Org, you need to create a special commission just to make sure na talagang itong mga illegal pogos talagang mapasara. Parang gano'n.
Sabi
Pero
nga
ang point ko is, parang, when there's so much power at the local level, you will have a situation when somebody can just put up those huge buildings in a 10-hectare property na medyo blind ang national government in Manila. Yun lang.
Ang sinasabi ko nga, hindi dapat blind. Dahil ang daming nangyari, several thousands yung pumasok. No? Ibig sabihin, yung BI has to inform the DOJ na under ng DOJ yung BI eh. Ano yun? Ganun na lang? Papasok na lang yung several thousands.
And then they disappear from the physical.
Yeah. Then we know that the BI has
Parang sinasabi ko, hindi pwedeng hindi malaman yan ng national government. Yun lang naman sinasabi ko. Para hindi lang naman yan responsibility ng local government. No?
Okay, mga bok, teka. Baka ikat na tayo ni Direk.
Tapos na ba tayo?
Nagkakapit na magano.
Oo nga, akala ko
si Paring Gina.
Akala ko nangangalahati pa lang tayo.
Nawala tuloy si Ami yun. Okay, thank you for joining Storycon today. Ami Pamintuan, sorry nawala si Ami, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star, and Tito Ronald Llamas, our resident political pundit. Join us again tomorrow at 4 p.m. for the Storycon. I'm Ed Lingao.
I'm Patrick Paez. We are One News, all sides, all the time. This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.